or the possibility of migrating to other European countries like Denmark, Germany, Poland, and all others. All right. Now, the advantage of you studying in Latvia is that welcome back to our YouTube channel, and thank you so much for joining today. Guys, so if you are new to the channel, please subscribe below. All right, there is a subscribe button here. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because today's video I'm going to be vibing for some countries in Europe, and these countries, some of them are open for admissions while others are not open. The reason I have decided to do this video is because I want to educate some of us, or to bring out this information which is going to help us so that we can have an easy application in 2023. Equally, if you need a one-on-one consultation with me, or if you want maybe something like an admissions offer, check the video description box. All right, then please do not forget to share this video and comment so that I know where you are watching us from. Thank you so much. A special shout out to my people from Nigeria. Thank you so much. So like I said, there are some countries here. I will be talking about some specific things that you need to do, or you should take note of when your admissions file is concerned. I will equally touch some few universities, then I will touch some requirements and probably some scholarship options. All right, so if you, and some visa stuff, so if you intend to apply to Europe, you may be looking at some of these countries. Now, I want to draw your attention to the fact that your program may be based, well, you may locate a university in Europe, but there are so many things which boils down to budget. All right, so the first thing you need to do is to consider how much you have, or you think you can have at the end of the application period before you start the visa process. Because if you apply to a university and at the end of the day you are not able to supply money for your bank statement, or probably maybe get a sponsors or sponsorship, it is going to be a disadvantage for you. There is no need applying where you cannot apply for the visa. So let's take a look at some countries in Europe, and we will discuss a little more. Then we will see which options are better. You will now decide on which one to take. All right, the very first country on my list I want to talk about is Lithuania. Lithuania is one of the Baltic countries in Europe, and the two others are, because there are three in number, the two others are Estonia and Latvia. Now, if you want to study in Lithuania, there is something I want you to put into consideration: tuition fee first of all, because most universities in Lithuania have tuition fee ranging from 1,500 to like maybe 3,500 euros, to like some even go above 4,500 to 5,000 euros, like medical courses. So if you intend to study in Lithuania, you should understand that the process is not going to be easy. All right, but of course competitive. So there are various things I want you to note when you have selected a program, or if you have decided to go for a particular program in a particular university in Lithuania. All right, then check your tuition fee and it meets what you have. Then you check the requirements and you think that you meet the requirement. Of course, it is now time for you to apply. But there is another thing called SKVC. SKVC is like the body in Lithuania that is in charge. It's like their higher education ministry that helps to evaluate foreign diplomas. All right, so if you want to study in Lithuania and have a successful application, you have to go to SKVC, go to their site, just type it on Google, SKVC. Then you go, you read what you need. What you actually need on that particular site is a recognition of certificate of foreign diplomas or foreign certificates. When you fill in the information, you upload your certificates and you wait for a reply. The SKVC will give you a paper, all right, an evaluation copy, or a paper to show that your documents were evaluated by them. Then you will be using this document, and when you arrive in Lithuania, you equally need to go with it. All right, or to move with it to Lithuania, because it's going to help you. Even if you move to Lithuania without the document, the paper from SKVC, you will still do it over there, and it is very necessary. Some universities will purposely even tell you that we cannot process your admissions without your recognition from SKVC. It is very important. All right, then after that, you get the admissions offer and you apply to schools and you move. Requirements for you to apply to Lithuanian universities. All right, there are a lot of universities in Lithuania, like the University of Vilnius, the University of, there are a lot of them. All right, I don't want to be listing them here. Anyways, you may find some links in the description box below. Then requirements include your passport copy, an application fee, very important. Most Lithuanian universities will charge you an application fee. Now, if you want to check which programs are available in which universities, or what program you want to study, type studyinfo.lt. all right, study.lt, sorry, study in .lt. That is the link or the site you are going to access all the programs in Lithuania and the various universities. Pay attention to these documents with SKVC because it will stress you enough if you move into Lithuania without going with the documents. All right, so that is something you should know. And equally remember that you have to pay tuition fee deposit, first year tuition fee deposit, before you can apply for the study visa, and you have to pay all right. Not all universities will charge you less, or let me say part of the money, but you have to pay all right. Then the next school, university, all right, or the next schools, which is Riga Technical University, which is found in another country I want to talk about now, is in Latvia. The country is Latvia, and Latvia has a lot of universities, like the University of Riga and Riga Technical University. There are a lot of them in Latvia. All right, Latvia is also very accessible into the European Union right now, with neighbors like Germany and others. All right, if you are in Latvia, you have the tendency or the possibility of migrating to other European countries like Denmark, Germany, Poland, and all others. All right, now the advantage of you studying in Latvia is that if you are studying in Latvia, most of their degrees are not that expensive like schools in the UK and other countries like Sweden. All right, so that is the advantage of you studying in Latvia. And the visa acceptance rate, or let me say visa acceptance rate, is usually very high in Latvia. Or if you are applying for a student visa, sometimes it is high, but make sure all your documents are intact, because of course if your documents are not in order, you will not get a visa to Latvia. I hope you understand. So these are some of the things that you need to know before you start all of this process. And equally remember that with your documentation, you equally need to recognize them. There is a body in Latvia, the AIC, is it the OIC, something like that. Please verify the body that has to evaluate and confirm your degrees that they are okay and they are legit. All right, before you can move further. Confirm that very well. It is in Latvia. And equally remember that tuition fee in most Latvian university will range between 2,500 to like 4,000 euros. But majority of programs in Latvia are like 3,000 euros. So that is something, again, when you have an admissions letter to study in a Latvian university, you have to pay first year tuition fee. There is no negotiation about that. All right. So then for documents to apply to Latvian universities, they include a copy of your passport, of course, the online application form, then your degree certificate, all right, then authenticated documents, all right, or legalized documents from your various ministries or universities. These are some of the things you need to know. Some universities may ask for motivation letters and of course CV, both Latvia and Lithuania, and of course Estonian universities. So this is something you should put into consideration. The next country I want to talk about is Switzerland. As we are preparing, schools in Latvia are equally open, guys, and schools in Switzerland are also open. Schools in Switzerland like the University of Geneva, the University of Zurich, all right, the University of Neuchâtel, all right, or Neuchâtel, the University of Lausanne, all these schools are open in Switzerland. And there is one thing international students don't know. Schools in Switzerland are very cheap, all right, very, very cheap, to the extent that if you have 500 Swiss francs, which is almost equivalent like 500 euros, you can study in Switzerland. But the major problem sometimes boils down to the visa application stage, when you have to apply for the visa, and the bank statement is usually the problem, because you need to show a very heavy bank statement, which is worth at least 8 million plus CFA francs. So you have to be very strategic about your applications, all right, to Europe. And equally remember that unlike Lithuania, which with an application fee payment, Switzerland equally asks for application fee. Likewise, Latvian universities, they also ask for application fee. All right, I think the application fee for Swiss universities is 100 Swiss francs. And if the deadline crosses you, or if you don't meet the deadline, you have to pay late registration for the payment for the application. All right. Then for Latvia, you can find application fee for some universities like 100 euros, 150 euros, and stuff like that. Now, like I said, schools in Switzerland are open, and most of the schools include, or some of the schools with very affordable or very cheap tuition include the University of Geneva, the University of Lausanne, the University of Neuchâtel, and the University of Applied Iceland Arts of Western Switzerland. All right, just leave it like that. I know what, I will put some links in the description box. And what is very, very important to me with these Swiss universities is that they have a very low tuition fee. All right, most of their universities cost 500 Swiss franc and below. For example, this university, the University of Geneva, they will teach the University of Geneva has as language of instruction French and English, but they will teach you in French and English as well. All right, so a majority of the students, or let's say most of the classes, at least 80% of classrooms are taught in French and English at the University of Geneva. And again, tuition fee is 500 Swiss franc, which is almost equivalent like 500 euros. All right, so you need to convert this money into your own local currency and see. But it is not difficult to study in Switzerland. Like I told you, the only complication that I think somehow may be insignificant, by the way, is the application method. For you to apply for universities in Switzerland, you have to really pay attention to the websites and read very well, because most of the schools, especially this university, the University of Basel, all right, if you are not very conscious, you may not know, and if you have reading issues, you may face problems on how to apply. But again, like I said, it is very easy. All right, we have another university in Switzerland which is still open, the University of Lausanne, and of course you have the University of Neuchâtel. All right, University of Neuchâtel is like 950 Swiss franc, which is around 1,150 euros for tuition fee. All right, and you equally have the University of Lausanne, which is 580 euros, or let me say 580 Swiss franc. The conversion rate is almost the same. Let's just round it up to 600 euros. That is how Swiss universities are. And when you want to apply to Switzerland, know that as a student, you are going to work part-time, and as during the holidays, you are going to work full-time. All right, so these are some of the things you are going to do. As a student, of course, you can work in Switzerland and pay a tuition fee. Like I said, tuition fee is not even a problem, because with 500 euros is small money, which means that if you have the chance to apply for schools in Switzerland, of course, just apply. All right, when you have the admissions letter, if your family can provide the money. But remember, sometimes the money they may want to see the money cash, or maybe in a bank account somewhere. So you have to understand how these things work. All right, then the next, remember, if you want to apply for Swiss universities, you basically need just your BSc, your WAEC certificate. Nigerians, please, you need your WAEC certificate. All right, if you have your NECO and your NAPTEC, it is equally accepted in Swiss universities. But I will suggest that if you don't have maybe a degree already, you should try to do some voluntary activities. All right, these are for those applying for bachelor's. But in those who are applying for master's degree, all right, you have to have a very good CGPA. Maybe 3.3 on a total of 4 is still acceptable. But I'm not saying that that is what you should use. If you cannot have that, use what you have. All right, you never can tell. People want scholarships with very poor grades, or let me say small CGPA. So you stand a chance no matter what is your condition. All right, so just apply, check schools around there and apply. If you think you can have that huge money to put in a blocked account, or maybe someone in Switzerland who can stand as your guarantor. All right, but again, like I said, you have to be very strategic, because applying to Switzerland alone without applying to another school is digging your own grave. Make sure you spread your applications. Again, remember that another country which is similar to Switzerland is Luxembourg, and this time around, this is the richest country in the EU, as I can say. No, the richest capital, the richest country, or let me say the country with the richest capital in the EU is the Luxembourg city. All right. So in Luxembourg, transportation is free. That is the first advantage you have as an international student. And the second advantage is that you, unlike Switzerland, where you will spend 500 euros to study per semester, you are equally going to be spending like 400 euros to study at the University of Luxembourg in Luxembourg. Also, mind you, please, other programs may be expensive than that of the University of Luxembourg. And equally remember that not all universities drop down their tuition fee like the University of Luxembourg. So if you intend to move to Luxembourg, the very first issue is that most African countries don't have the Luxembourg embassy in their home country. So you have to be used to this. Then equally remember that if you are in Europe studying, you have to read very well and make sure everything is perfect. All right, things may not be perfect, but just make sure you put things in order. Now, Luxembourg is a country where the language of instruction is not English language. So if you are going to be applying to universities, always check the language of instructions, because sometimes some universities will say, I can study in French and English. All right, or let me say, they will say that students applying for specific programs should be able to demonstrate that they have at least a proficiency in French language so that they can study in French and English. Then while other programs have programs entirely, other programs are entirely taught in the English language. So you have to check all of that, all right, so that you know. I will put links in the video description box for you to verify. Again, remember that if you want to migrate to Luxembourg, your bank account must be very heavy. Please take note of this. I am not aware of if you need a block account or not. If I don't know anything, I cannot say it here. Then the other country I want to talk about is Poland. Remember, if you are applying to Poland now, Poland has issues with embassy appointments and all the rest. Unlike Poland, other embassies still have problems, like the German embassy. All right, Germany again is a very good country to migrate to right now. Remember that Germany is trying to implement the express entry system that is functioning in Canada, where you upload your credentials and you are evaluated based on the scores that you have, and you are if given an interview to apply for your visa. I hope you understand. But with this process, you still need proof of funds, guys. Or you need proof of funds, or you need to show that you have money, because these are possibilities that you are going to gain permanent residency, or maybe it's probably a citizenship status. I hope you understand. So make sure you follow up. I don't know what the problem is with Germany right now, or the embassy, let me put it this way. But if I have tangible information, I will bring it here. And equally remember that with the German embassy, it depends anyway on the country. Most appointments are started to come back, or let me say appointments are being given out. But remember that scholarship students who want, or students who want Erasmus and that, they have to attend to them first. That is how Germany is. Poland equally have issues now. So if you want to migrate to Poland, the immigration laws are maybe tightened a little, so you have to reconsider your stance. But again, it is very important to make the first step. All right, then the last country I want to talk about is Turkey. A lot of people nowadays are running to Turkey using the tourist visa, and at the end of the day, you get scammed for things that you didn't do. So I would suggest that just apply to universities. All right, apply to schools, and when you get the admissions letter, of course, you migrate. Italy is equally trying to implement something. In the few months to come, I will be talking about Italy, Turkey, back to back, so that you understand most of the things that are happening. In Italy now, you can get universities for less than maybe 2,000 euros, all right, to study. But most of these universities are on, let me say, they have huge sums of scholarships that at the end of the day, they will still give international students. So before you even apply to a school in Italy, first of all, consider the scholarship option. There are various scholarships depending on where you are, and equally, there are some scholarships that are found in Italian universities that you can only apply using documents from your parents or home country. All right, I have talked about these scholarships before, so I will be elaborating more on them